All right, let's dive into this. Warriors fans, tonight is not just another game on the schedule. It is a defining moment, a test of resilience, pride, and maybe even the future of this team's season. We are heading into game 4 at home, trailing 2-1 in the series against the Timberwolves. Now, the burning question that everyone has on their minds, is this game a must win? Is it truly the turning point of the series? And more importantly, are the Warriors' playoff hopes hanging by a thread? Let's not sugarcoat it. Going down 3-1 in a series, especially without Steph Curry on the floor, is the kind of challenge that only the bravest would dare to take on. But even the bravest know the odds are grim. Let's take a moment to picture the scenario. If the Warriors lose tonight, they would have to head back to Minnesota for Game 5, facing elimination on the road. And doing that without their leader, their heartbeat, the engine of their offense, Steph Curry, is a daunting task. Yes, this team has been through adversity before. Yes, they have pulled off the improbable in past playoff runs. But we are not talking about history here. We are talking about the present. The Timberwolves have had time to study, to adjust, and they are playing with confidence. Winning 3 straight games without Steph is not just a tough ask. It is bordering on a miracle. Even if Curry manages to return for a potential Game 6, there is no guarantee he will be at 100%. He is recovering from a grade 1 muscle strain. And while that might sound minor, every detail counts at this stage of the playoffs. We are about 6 days into an injury that typically requires about a week for recovery. Simple math tells us that Curry's first real shot at coming back is Game 6. But here's the kicker. Will the Warriors even make it that far? Tonight's game is pivotal. It is not just about staying alive in the series. It is about giving Steph Curry the time he needs to heal and come back when it matters most. Lose tonight, and that window might close before it even had a chance to open. Win, and suddenly the dynamics shift. The team gets a breather, momentum swings, and a belief that anything is possible starts creeping back in. Let's rewind to Game 3 for a moment. Now, the Warriors had their chances. They were right there, battling, pushing, keeping the game within reach. But as we have seen before, the fourth quarter became their undoing. Steve Kerr talked about it. Jimmy Butler talked about it. The adjustments, the missed opportunities, the need to control those final moments. The Timberwolves executed when it mattered most. They hit their shots, controlled the glass, and capitalized on every Warriors mistake. It was a harsh reminder that in the playoffs, it is not enough to be competitive for 3 quarters. The full 48 minutes count. Every possession, every loose ball, every rebound. Steph's absence was felt deeply. Before Game 3, reports indicated that he was on the court doing some light work, riding a bike. But anyone watching could tell he was not moving at full speed. The timeline was always going to be tight. A grade 1 strain might heal quickly on paper, but playoff basketball does not wait. The schedule is relentless. After tonight's Game 4, there's a day of rest. Then the team travels back to Minnesota for Game 5. If the series extends, Game 6 is set for the 17th, giving Curry a crucial 5 more days to recover. That is the target. That is the goal. But it all hinges on surviving tonight. The Wolves are not going to make this easy. They have their big 3 firing on all cylinders. Gore, Julius, and of course, Anthony Edwards. These guys are relentless, athletic, and they smell blood. They know the Warriors are vulnerable. They have already adjusted to the Warriors' schemes and are exploiting every weakness, especially with Curry sidelined. This brings us to the importance of Jimmy Butler's presence on this roster. This is precisely why he was brought in. 2, be that second star to carry the scoring load when Curry is out. And to be fair, Butler has delivered. He is playing over 40 minutes, putting up points, organizing the offense, leading by example. But even Butler knows this is not a one-man job. He has been vocal about needing support, about needing another threat on the floor to draw defenders and create space. The harsh reality is that the Warriors do not have that second reliable scorer right now. Klay Thompson is not the same player he once was. His shooting has been inconsistent, his defensive impact diminished. Other players like BP and Buddy have shown flashes, but nothing consistent enough to hang your hat on. The depth that wants to find this team feels shallow. The margin for error has disappeared. Let's talk numbers. In Game 3, the Warriors committed 15 turnovers. That alone is problematic. But what makes it worse is that the Wolves had 21 turnovers of their own, yet the Warriors only managed to convert those into 13 points. That inefficiency is costly. You cannot afford to waste those opportunities, not in a series this tight, not without your best player on. The floor. The team's defensive effort was solid. Holding the Wolves to 102 points should be enough to win a playoff game. But when you only score 97, when your transition offense stalls, when your three-point shooting goes cold, it becomes an uphill battle. Speaking of three-point shooting, the Warriors' identity has always been tied to their perimeter game, but in this series, they are falling short. The volume of attempts is down, the efficiency is lacking, and the Wolves are winning that battle decisively. It is not just about missing shots. It is about the quality of looks, the ball movement, the rhythm. Right now, the Warriors are out of sync. On the free throw line, things are almost even. That is not where this game is being decided. The battle is being won and lost in the hustle plays, the second chance points, the careless turnovers. The Timberwolves are capitalizing while the Warriors are letting those moments slip away. Every possession matters, and the Warriors are not maximizing theirs. Steve Kerr knows this. He has been around long enough to understand what needs to change. After Game 3, he emphasized that the team was right there for most of the game. The issue is not effort, it is execution. Finishing plays, making smart decisions, controlling the tempo. One of the key veterans, a player who once thrived in clutch moments, needs to rediscover that form. This is the time to step up. The emotional swings of the playoffs are brutal. One game can change everything. Momentum is a fragile thing. The Warriors had a 6-point lead with 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. There was hope, belief, but then the cracks appeared. The offense stagnated. Turnovers crept in. Defensive lapses allowed the Wolves to capitalize. A crucial player fouled out, leaving the team exposed. Rebounds went the other way. Extra possessions turned into points for Minnesota. It was a familiar script, one that has played out too many times this season. Tonight, they cannot afford a repeat. They need to play with urgency, discipline, and most importantly, composure. They need to finish strong. The first 3 quarters set the stage, but the fourth is where legends are made. Looking ahead to potential adjustments, there might be some tweaks to the starting lineup. Maybe a defensive specialist gets a shot. Maybe there's a shakeup to bring more energy off the bench. But every change comes with its own set of challenges. The balance between offense and defense is delicate. The rotation needs to be precise. There is talk about giving more minutes to certain bench players who have shown flashes of promise. But playoff basketball is not forgiving. Every minute on the floor has to count. There's also the question of minutes management. Can Butler handle another 40-minute night? Probably yes, but at what cost? Other key players are struggling with their shot, adding to the complexity of the situation. The coaching staff needs to weigh all these factors carefully. The margin for error is razor thin. At the end of the day, this team has been in tough spots before. They have faced adversity, they have been written off, and yet they have found ways to fight back. There is a core belief in their locker room that they can still turn this around. But it starts tonight. A loss does not mathematically end their season, but it would make the road ahead exponentially harder. Heading back to Minnesota down 3-1 with Curry still rehabbing is a nightmare scenario. Warriors fans remember a time when their team clawed back from a 3-1 deficit. They remember the grit, the heart, the never say die attitude. But memories do not win games. The present demands execution, focus, and collective effort. The Wolves are not unbeatable, but they are disciplined, well-coached, and playing with confidence. The Warriors need to match that intensity, surpass it, and reclaim the narrative. Tonight's game is more than just a battle for survival. It is about setting the tone, sending a message, reigniting belief. As the clock ticks down to tip-off, the questions remain. Can the Warriors rise to the occasion? Will they give Steph Curry a reason to suit up again this postseason? Or will the Timberwolves tighten their grip and push the Warriors to the brink? One thing is certain. Tonight's game will reveal the heart of this team. The challenge is enormous, but so is the opportunity. It is time to find out who the Warriors really are. Before we continue, Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a statement that has sent shockwaves through the NBA community, Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch is rumored to have made a bold and controversial remark about the Golden State Warriors. According to sources, Finch allegedly stated that without superstar Stephen Curry, the Warriors would be a weak team and would struggle to contend at the highest level. While there has been no official confirmation of Finch's comments from the Timberwolves or the Warriors, the rumor has quickly gained traction across social media platforms and sports talk shows. The timing of the speculation couldn't be more intriguing, as the Warriors have faced significant struggles with injuries to their key players, including Curry, who has been sidelined at various points during the season. Stephen Curry's importance to the Warriors cannot be overstated. As one of the most accomplished and transformative players in the history of the NBA, Curry's ability to score from anywhere on the court and his leadership on both ends of the floor have been the driving forces behind Golden State's success. Over the past decade, the team's identity has been intrinsically linked to his remarkable shooting range and off-the-dribble ability. With Curry in the lineup, the Warriors are a perennial championship contender. However, without him, the team has shown vulnerabilities, particularly in terms of offensive fluidity and defensive consistency. This is not the first time the Warriors have struggled in Curry's absence, as the team has experienced significant drops in performance whenever their star guard is injured or out of action. Finch's rumored comments seem to reflect the prevailing sentiment that Curry is the engine that powers the Warriors' success. It is no secret that in his absence, other players have been forced to step up, but no one has been able to consistently fill the void left by the two-time MVP. While the Warriors still boast a talented roster, including the likes of Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Andrew Wiggins, they are not the same team without Curry leading the charge. If these alleged remarks from Finch are accurate, it could signal an interesting psychological and tactical aspect to the Timberwolves' approach to facing the Warriors in the coming games. Coaches often look for weaknesses in their opponents, and Finch may be attempting to capitalize on any potential vulnerabilities in a Warriors squad without their superstar leader. It's also worth noting that Chris Finch, as a coach, has established himself as one of the more respected figures in the NBA, known for his strategic acumen and ability to maximize the talent on his own roster. The Timberwolves, led by stars like Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, have shown flashes of brilliance in recent seasons, and with Finch at the helm, they have the potential to challenge teams like the Warriors. If this rumor turns out to be true, it will only add another layer of intrigue to the already heated rivalry between the Timberwolves and the Warriors. As the season progresses, fans will undoubtedly be paying close attention to any interactions between these two teams, especially when Curry returns to the court. In the NBA, where rivalries are often built on competitive comments and bold statements, Chris Finch's alleged remark could be the latest spark to light the fire between these two Western Conference contenders. The question remains, however, will the Warriors take offense and rise to the challenge, or will the Timberwolves capitalize on the potential cracks in Golden State's armor? Only time will tell. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.